today on your mind right now? Q1. Specifically, how to actually plan your social media for Q1 instead of just winging it and hoping for the best. Real talk, most entrepreneurs start January with amazing intentions, and by February, they're already burnt out, inconsistent, and wondering why social media isn't working for them. Today, I'm going to change that pattern. I'm walking you through my complete Q1 strategy framework, the same one that I use with my private clients, so you can start 2026 with clarity, confidence, and a plan that actually fits your real life. So grab your favorite beverage, maybe a notebook, and let's dive in. Love it, or hate to love it? Social media has been dominating the marketing world for years, and today is no different. Hey there, and welcome to the Ultimate Hangout, where I dish out all of my juicy secrets of the social media world, growing your online presence like a pro. I'm Brandy, your go-to girl in the digital universe, and I am beyond excited to have you join me for some serious fun as we explore the wonders of social media together. And for the past 5 years, I've been on a mission to uncover the tricks of the trade that not only work for me, but also help my clients shine in this digital world. So what's on the agenda? Well, pretty much everything. From sharing tips on crafting killer content to demystifying those tricky algorithms, whether you're a seasoned pro or just dipping your toes into the digital pool. This podcast is your safe space to ask questions, share ideas, and learn alongside a supportive community. Grab that cup of coffee, cozy up, and let's get ready. Let's Be Social isn't just a podcast. It's a celebration of creativity, connection, and the world of online communication. Here's to learning, laughing, and leveling up together. This is your Let's Be Social podcast. Okay, so let's start with some real talk. Can I just be honest about something? Most Q1 social media plans fail, like spectacularly fail, by mid-February. And it's not because entrepreneurs aren't capable or committed. It's because the advice we're getting is completely unsustainable. I see this every single year. January 1st hits and everyone's like, this is my year. I'm posting daily on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I'm showing up on stories. I'm doing reels. I'm engaging for an hour every morning. And you know what happens? By January 15th, you're exhausted. By February the 1st, you've missed 3 days in a row and feel like failures. By March, you're basically given up. So here's why this keeps happening. The plan is too ambitious for real life. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't have a content team. I don't have unlimited hours in my day. I have client work, admin tasks, business development, and also, wild concept here, a life outside of social media. When we create plans based on what influencers with full teams are doing, we're setting ourselves up to fail. There's also no clear strategy behind the posting. It just post daily, but with no thought to what platform actually matter for your business, what content will convert followers to clients, how this supports your actual business goals, and what happens after someone engages with your content. It's activity without strategy, and activity without strategy is just plain exhausting. And there's no built-in sustainability. Most Q1 plans have no consideration for what happens when you're sick. What happens during busy client weeks? What happens when you just don't feel like it? How to maintain this for 90 days, not just 90 hours. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. You can have a Q1 social media strategy that actually fits into your life, focuses on results over vanity metrics, converts followers into paying clients, doesn't require you to be on 24/7. That's exactly what we're building today. Okay, so before we talk about what you're going to do in Q1, we need to talk about what we're going to stop doing. Everyone wants to jump straight to planning content and creating calendars, but trust me on this. The audit is where the magic happens. Here's what I want you to do. First, audit your platforms. Pull up a piece of paper or open a notes app and list every platform you posted in 2025 for each one. I want you to honestly rate 3 things on a scale of 1 to 5. Energy drain. How exhausting is it to show up here? 1 equals easy, 5 equals soul sucking. Results delivered. Are you actually getting clients from this platform? 1, nothing. 5 equals consistent inquiries. Employment level. Do you like being on this enjoyment level? Do you like being on this platform? 1, I hate it. 5, I love it. Now look at your scores. Any platform that scored 8 or below total, you have my permission to quit it. Just stop. You don't need to be everywhere. I'll give you a personal example. I was on Twitter for 2 years. Years ago, before it was X, and trying to make it work because everyone said I should be there. You know how many clients I got from Twitter? 0. You know how much time I spent there? Hours every week. When I quit Twitter and put that energy into Instagram and LinkedIn platforms where my people actually were, my business grew. It wasn't magic. It was strategic elimination. Next, audit your content types. Same thing. List out the types of content you created last year. Reels, carousels, single image posts, stories, blog posts, whatever else you tried. Rate them the same way: energy drain, results, and enjoyment. And here's what you're going to discover. There are probably 1 or 2 content types that work really well for you. They're easy to create, people engage with them, and they lead to actual business results. And then there are content types you're forcing yourself to do because someone said you should. Like for me, Reels. Everyone's like, Reels are essential. The algorithm loves Reels. If you're not doing Reels, you're failing. But here's the truth. I hate making Reels. They drain my energy. And when I compare my Reels performance to my carousel performance, the carousels got more clients. So guess what? I don't do as many. Your Q1 should be built around what actually works for you, not what works for someone else. Finally, identify your elimination list. Based on your audit, write down platforms I'm leaving behind in 2025, content types I'm no longer creating, shoulds I'm releasing. I want you to feel the relief of this. Every no you add to this list creates space for a more powerful yes. You're not quitting because you're lazy. You're strategically eliminating what doesn't serve your business so you can focus on what does. That's not failure. That's wisdom. All right, now that you've eliminated what's not working, let's talk about what you're focusing on for your Q1. Here's my rule. Pick 2 to 3 platforms maximum. That's it. I know some of you are panicking right now, but Brandy, what if my clients are on 4 different platforms? Here's the thing. Your ideal clients are probably on multiple platforms, but you can't be everywhere effectively. It's better to dominate 2 platforms than to be mediocre on 5. So, how do you choose? Where are your ideal clients actually spending time? Not where social media gurus say that they should be. Where are yours actually hanging out? If you're a B2B consultant, LinkedIn probably makes the most sense. If you're a wedding photographer, Instagram or Pinterest probably makes the most sense. If you're a business coach, maybe Instagram and YouTube. Where do you actually enjoy showing up? This matters more than people think. If you hate LinkedIn, you're not going to show up consistently there, and consistency matters more than perfection. Pick platforms where you don't have to force yourself to log in, where you have seen results before. Even small results count. If someone DM'd you about your services from Instagram, but you've never gotten a single inquiry from TikTok, that's data. Once you've chosen your 2 to 3 platforms, here's how I want you to think about them. Primary platform. This is where you post most frequently and post the most energy. This is your home base. your secondary platform. This is where you repurpose content from your primary platform. You're not creating original content here. You're adapting what really worked. Your tertiary platform, optional. Only add this if you generally have the capacity. This is usually a set it and forget it platform like Pinterest, where you can schedule content in bulk. For me, Instagram is my primary platform. I create original content 3 to 4 times per week. LinkedIn is my secondary. I repurpose my best Instagram content with slight adaptations for a professional audience. And Pinterest is my tertiary. I batch, create pins once a month, and drive traffic to my blog and my website. Now, I do love YouTube and have gotten quite into it lately, but I use this for my education where I'm able to give free stuff away, but it all directs back to one of these platforms or my website if I have a giveaway or something going on for the month that I want everybody to know about. This system means I'm visible on 3 platforms for the most part, but I'm only creating original content for one. That's sustainable. Your assignment. Okay, let's get down to it. Write down your primary, secondary, and optional tertiary platform for Q, and then let go of the rest of them without guilt. Okay, let's talk about the thing that's going to end your year. What should I post today? If you're not familiar with this term, content pillars are basically the 3 to 5 main topics you talk about consistently. They're the themes your content revolves around. Why do you need them? They eliminate decision fatigue. Instead of staring at a blank screen every day wondering what to post, you just cycle through your pillars. They build authority. When you consistently talk about specific topics, people start to see you as the expert in those areas. They make content batching way easier. You can create months worth of content by developing 2 to 3 posts for each pillar. So how do you find your content pillars? Okay, ask yourself these questions. What do you want to be known for? When someone thinks about you, what expertise should come to mind? If you're a brand photographer, maybe it's personal branding, showing up authentically online, visual storytelling. What do your ideal clients need help with most? What are the top 3 to 5 problems you solve? Those are pillars. For me, it's content strategy, sustainable systems, version pathways, authentic marketing, and beating overwhelm. What could you talk about endlessly without getting bored? Your pillars should energize you, not drain you. If you're forcing yourself to talk about something because you don't think you should, it's not the right pillar. Here's an example of how content pillars work in practice. Let's say you're a business coach for women entrepreneurs. Your pillars might be mindset and confidence, business strategy and systems, work-life integration, money and pricing, marketing and visibility. Every post you create falls under one of those umbrellas. Monday, you post about mindset. Wednesday, you share a business strategy tip. Friday, you talk about pricing. Next week, you cycle through again with different angles. See how this eliminates the what do I post paralysis? Here's what I want you to do right now. Yes, actually pause the podcast if you need to. Write down 3 to 5 content pillars for your business. But having this framework is going to change everything about how you approach content creation. And here's the pro tip. Under each pillar, brainstorm 5 to 10 specific topics that you could talk about. So if one of your pillars is pricing, your topics might be how to price your service for profit, when to raise your rates, what to do when clients say you're too expensive, pricing psychology, and package versus hourly pricing. See, that's 5 posts right there from one pillar. Multiply that by 3 pillars. You've got content ideas for months. Your content pillar framework is the foundation of your entire Q1 strategy. Everything else builds from here. Okay, The next part is so important, and it's where I see most entrepreneurs completely drop the ball. You need to know where your posts are sending people. Let me say that again because this is critical. Every piece of content you create should have a clear next step. Too many entrepreneurs are posting consistently, getting great engagement, and then wondering why they're not booking clients. It's because they're not connecting the dots between content and conversion. Here's what I mean. Social media post to paying clients. The middle part, that's your conversion pathway. And most people have no idea what it is. I get it. Talking about sales funnels and conversion pathways can feel icky, especially if you went into business to help people, not to sell. But here's the truth. If people can't figure out how to work with you, you can't help them. The conversion pathway isn't manipulative. It's clarifying. So let's map yours out. What's your main offer? What's the primary way people work with you? One-on-one coaching? Done for you service, a course, a membership? What happens before someone buys? Do they book a discovery call, join your email list, DM you, attend a webinar? How does your content connect to that step? This is where most people get stuck. Your content needs to naturally lead to that middle step. Let me give you some examples of clear conversion pathways. Instagram post, valuable tip, call to action. Want the full framework? Grab my free guide in bio. Email, list sign up, email sequence, discover call, and then client. LinkedIn post, share client result, call to action. Ready for results like this? Link to book a call in my featured section, discovery call, and then client. Instagram reel, address common objection, call to action. DM me, ready to chat about this. DM conversion, discovery call, and client. See how each one has a clear path? Now here's what I want you to do. Map out your conversion pathway. Write it down like this. Post, what action? What happens next? What happens after that? And then paying client. And then make sure every post you create has a call to action that moves people to that first step. You don't have to be salesy about this. You can say things like, if this resonated, grab my free resource in bio. Want to chat about how this applies to your business? Link to book a call in my profile. DM me the word strategy and I'll send you the details. Dealing with this? Let's talk. Booking link in bio. It's just clarity. You're making it easy for people who want to work with you to take the next step. Because here's the truth. The people who need your help are looking for the path. If you don't give them one, they'll find someone else who does. Your job isn't to convince anyone. It's to make it crystal clear for people who are ready. All right. Let's talk about one thing that makes or breaks every social media strategy, your posting schedule. And I'm going to say something that might surprise you. You don't need to post every day. I know. Every guru out there is telling you daily posting is essential. But you know what's actually essential? Consistency you can maintain. Here's what I tell my clients. A sustainable plan you'll stick to for 90 days beats a perfect plan you'll abandon in 2 weeks. So let's build your realistic Q1 schedule. First, get honest about your capacity. How much time do you actually have for social media each week? Not how much time you think you should have. How much time do you realistically have? Be honest. If you have client work, admin tasks, business development, and also a life. Maybe you've got 5 to 7 hours a week for social media, and that's okay. Next, break down how you'll use that time. Content creation, how many hours? Posting, X hours. Engagement and responding, X amount of hours. Planning and analytics, X amount of hours. Then choose your posting frequency. Based on your availability time, here's what I recommend. If you have 3 to 5 hours a week, let's say, post 2 to 3 per week on your primary platform, and that's it. Focus on quantity and engagement over quality. If you have 5 to 7 hours per week, Post 3 to 4 per week on your primary platform, repurpose to your secondary platform. If you have 7 to 10 hours per week, post 4 to 5 per week on your primary platform, repurpose to secondary, and maintain your tertiary. Notice I don't say post daily for any of these. That's intentional. I have clients who post 3 times per week and are booked solid. I also know people who post daily and can't figure out why they're not getting any clients. Frequency doesn't equal results. Strategy does. After that, decide on your batching approach. Are you going to batch content monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, or day of? There's no right answer, only what works for your brain. I personally batch create my content once a week for the following week. Some people prefer monthly batching. Some people are spontaneous creators. Pick one you'll actually just do. And finally, schedule your engagement time. This is just as important as posting. Block out 15 to 30 minutes a day to respond to comments, answer DMs, engage with other people's content. Here's your Q1 scheduling assignment. Write down how many hours per week you have for social media, how many times per week you'll post on each platform, what days you'll post, when you'll batch create content, and when you'll engage daily. And then, this is key. Give yourself permission to adjust as you go. If you realize 4 times per week is too much, drop to 3 times. If you find monthly batching doesn't work for you, switch to weekly. The goal isn't perfection. Remember this. It's sustainability. All right, your 30-day action plan. Okay, guys, we've covered a lot today. Let's bring it all together with your 30-day action plan for implementing this Q1 strategy. Here's how this is going to work. You're going to break this down into 4 focused weeks, and each week has a specific theme that builds on the one before it. Your first week is all about foundation. This is when you complete your audit, figure out what platforms you're quitting, what content types you're eliminating, and what you're keeping. Then you'll choose your 2 to 3 platforms for Q1 and define your content pillars. By the end of this week, you should have your conversion pathway mapped out and your bio and links optimized. This foundation work might not feel exciting, but trust me, it's what makes everything else possible. Week 2 is content creation mode. This is when you batch create your first 2 or 3 weeks of content, so you're ahead of the game when January hits. You'll create content based on pillars you defined in week 1, making sure each post has a clear call to action that moves people through your conversion pathway. The goal is to go into Q1 with a buffer, so you're not scrambling to create content on the fly. Week 3 is all about systems and setup. This is when you set up your scheduling process, whether that's a scheduling tool, a content calendar, or however you want to organize things. Create your templates, your content frameworks, anything that's going to make future content creation faster and easier. Build the infrastructure that supports consistency. Week 4 is launch and optimize. Start posting consistently according to the schedule you set. Spend time engaging daily, responding to comments, answering DMs, showing up for your community. Pay attention to which content gets the most engagement, which posts lead to inquiries, what feels easy to create versus what feels like pulling teeth. And then at day 30, you do a review. Sit down with your analytics and honestly access what content performed best, what felt easiest to create, what needs to change for month 2. Are you on track with your goals? This review isn't about judging yourself. It's about gathering data so you can optimize as you go. The beauty of this 30-day plan is that once you build this foundation, the rest of Q1 gets easier. You're not reinventing the wheel every week. You're working your system. You're refining what works and letting go of what doesn't. And that's when social media starts working for you instead of you working for it. So that's your roadmap. 4 weeks to build a Q1 strategy that's sustainable, strategic, and actually converts followers into clients. You've got this. Okay, everyone, let's bring it home. Here's what we've covered today. We talked about why most Q1 plans fail and how yours is going to be different. We chose your Q1 platform strategically. We defined your content pillars so you never wonder what I should post again. We mapped your conversion pathway so your content actually leads to clients. We built a realistic posting schedule that can sustain for 90 days. We created your 30-day action plan to implement all of it. If you do nothing else from this episode, please hear this. Your Q1 social media should fit your life, your business, and your goals. Not some influencer's life, not what worked for your competitor, not what the gurus say you should do. Yours. You have permission to post less than everyone says you should. You have permission to quit platforms that drain you. You have permission to focus on what actually converts to clients instead of what gets the most likes. You have permission to build a strategy that's sustainable instead of impressive. Now, if you want help implementing everything we talked about today, I've created something specifically for you. A complete Q1 social media strategy guide with worksheets, templates, and action plans. Everything we covered today, plus so much more in a workbook format you can download and start using immediately. This isn't just a PDF you'll save and forget about. It's a complete planning system with platform audit worksheets, content pillar templates, conversion pathway maps, realistic scheduling frameworks, a full 30-day action plan, and 30 ready-to-use post ideas. And it's completely free. Head to my website to download it or DM me on Instagram at SuccessOnSocialYXE with the word Q1 and I'll send it straight to you. This is your Q1 game plan. Download it today and actually get started building a strategy that's going to make this year your strongest quarter yet. And if you want ongoing support implementing your Q1 strategy, the Rise Up Lounge community has a membership option for every stage of business, and I'd love for you to join me. All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode of Let's Be Social. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you're feeling energized and ready to make Q1 your strongest quarter yet. If this episode was helpful, do me a favor and share it with an entrepreneur friend who needs to hear it. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss future episodes. I'll be back next week with another episode of real strategy and encouragement for building your business online. Until then, remember, you don't need perfect content. You need strategic content. And you just got the strategy. Now go download that Q1 template and get started. I'm cheering for you. This is Brandy, and I'll see you in the next episode of Let's Be Social. Okay, everyone, give yourselves a huge pat on the back for being part of another fantastic episode of Let's Be Social. Time sure flies when you're having fun diving into the world of social media together. If you want more, make sure to head over to my Facebook group where I continue this conversation, I share insights, and we support each other on our social media journeys. You'll find all the details in this episode in my show notes at successonsocialmarketing.com, so be sure to check them out. Remember, learning doesn't have to stop here. Keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the digital world. And if you ever need a helping hand or some extra inspiration, you know where to find me.